Hello everyone, welcome again to the Citizens Punt, Pass, and Chat Pick 6 video segment, week 15. I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget.
I'll still give them the boom, folks. There you go.
A little bit of a different look this week.
Yeah.
Robert has facial hair and I don't.
Yeah.
Although it may be kind of tough to see Robert's.
It brings new meaning to the words cut and paste, folks. Cut and paste.
I just decided it was time for a change, So, anyways, with the holidays coming, I want to be a little clean shaven.
Will you jinx yourself in the pick six?
I'll tell you, I was just telling him off camera before we started that I think this is the week where he catches up. And I went 5-1 last week, and what were you, 4-2?
I believe so, yeah.
So I did pick up another game. I think I'm up by 7 now.
Yep, back up 7.
So it's a pretty good lead. I'd have to have a very, very bad couple of weeks for him to catch up. And I was telling him, I think this is the week. I've got some crazy picks here, going out on a limb. This may be the week he catches up to me. We'll see. Well, with that being said, we'll get right to it. Our first game, Chicago at Cleveland. This is the Battle of the Great Lakes. Erie versus Michigan, okay? Even though it's technically Ohio versus Illinois for the states. But for the Lakes, it's Erie and Michigan. I like Cleveland. I know the Bears are in it. I hear Cutler's going to start. But you know something? Cleveland has been playing well at home. Josh Gordon, excellent wide receiver.
Absolutely.
I believe their starting quarterback, is it Jason Campbell?
Campbell, I believe.
Is back. He played well before he got hurt. The Browns are one of those teams, they've been flirting with being good. And, this is a big game for the Bears, but it's on the road. I like Cleveland.
I'm taking the Bears.
There we go. See, this is what I'm talking about.
Taking the Bears. I just think, as good as Josh Gordon is, you look at Alshon Jeffrey, he's been lighting it up lately. They have Matt Forte. They have a good balance between the run and the pass.
They looked great last week.
They looked great last week against Dallas. Of course, that was at home.
And,
so you make a good point
and
about the road.
And it's a short week.
Yeah. I just think, it might be a tough game for them, but I think they'll come out on top.
Yeah. It's one of those situations that I think if you were playing it, with the points, you would pick Cleveland to cover, but you'd pick the Bears to win. So this next game, we're going to shoot ahead of Monday night. So we kind of went out of order a little bit, but we're going to pick the Monday night game next. That's Baltimore at Detroit. I like the Lions. They have to win to keep pace in the NFC North. They're playing at home. They're playing good football. It was a tough loss in the snow against Philly. They need to win this game. Yes, the Ravens need to win it too to keep even, and they own the last wild card right now in the AFC. But I just think Detroit's got better tools on offense. Their defense is solid. They got the home field, and I just like Detroit in this game.
Call me crazy. I'm taking Baltimore.
Wow. See, there's 2 games. I told you this could be your chance to catch up.
This was a game that stuck out to me as one that favored the away team for some reason. I don't know. It just stuck out to me. These are 2 hungry teams. Detroit is battling for the NFC North title. Baltimore is trying to cling to that final playoff spot. I think this is the time of year. Who's the hungriest?
Yeah,
I'm
but
going with Baltimore.
I'm going to give you one little caveat. Baltimore has only won 1 game on the road this year. They're 1-6 on the road. And guess where that 1 win came? Miami, of course. So just saying that Baltimore is not a good road team.
No.
If the game was in Baltimore, I would be picking the Ravens, but it's in Detroit.
Road win number 2, folks.
All right, we'll see what happens. Speaking of road teams, our next game is Robert's Buffalo Bills at the smoking hot Jacksonville Jaguars. I believe they've won 4 in a row, or 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. I believe.
Yes, Jacksonville is. People thought they were going to go 0-16. They could finish 7-9 maybe.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not, but they're definitely playing better
They'd have to win
football.
out.
Right. And I like them against the Bills. I just think the Bills just played like absolute garbage last week against the Buccaneers. I think there's starting to be a little internal dissension. You can tell by Doug Marone's what he's saying. He's just disgusted. And, this could go either one of 2 ways. The Bills could use this as something, we played like absolute garbage last week. We're better than that. We're going to play a better game, and we're just going to go in there and just mop up the floor with Jacksonville. But like I said, I think Jacksonville has new confidence, and I just like them at home, and I like Jacksonville over the Bills.
I agree with you. I'm taking Jacksonville. As a Bills fan, I see the Bills slipping right now. They were progressing earlier in the year. E.J. Manuel gets hurt. They kind of had some ups and downs with different quarterbacks. E.J. Manuel's come back, and he had a decent game against Atlanta. That wasn't his fault that they lost.
Right.
But then he came back last week and had a pretty horrible game.
4 interceptions, I believe.
Yep,
Right. Yeah.
against Tampa Bay, and the running game has been very inconsistent this year. Jacksonville's played well at home, especially of late. I just see him winning this game.
Our next game, turnabout's fair play. We're going to pick New England at Miami Dolphins.
Chris's Miami Dolphins.
Yep, and Miami, they need this game really bad to stay even with Baltimore. They've won 2 in a row. They've won 4 out of their last 6. They played New England tough in Foxborough until they did not play well in the second half and lost that game to New England. I would love to pick Miami here, but New England, they can clinch here. I think they enjoy the good weather. Brady, even though he lost Gronkowski, he's got other weapons like Amendola. And New England's got Miami's number, and it pains me to pick them, but I'm going to go with the Patriots.
Yeah, I'm taking the Patriots too. I think it'll be a closer game. Miami's been, they've been good this year at times. They've been really good.
And other times,
and then stakers
yes.
the rest of the time. But they're in playoff contention.
I'm happy with that.
That's certainly a positive sign for them. And but I just think the Patriots, even though they're without Gronk, they've had to battle through some injuries this year.
As long as Tom Brady's
healthy, they can win these games. So.
Our next game is Green Bay at Dallas. This is an excellent football game, and
playoff implications.
The Packers are still in contention in the NFC North. The Cowboys, tied for first, are really, for all intent and purposes, in first in the NFC East. Both teams really need this game, and there's talk that Aaron Rodgers could be back for the Packers. He's been recovering from that collarbone injury. He got some reps with the first team. I think even if he plays, though, he's going to be pretty rusty. Dallas played like absolute garbage. I think these guys are going to be a little more motivated this week. They're going to be home, and I like the Cowboys in this game.
Home bounce-back game opportunity against a Packers team that, with or without Rodgers, I don't think they've been as good this year. Injuries have been a big factor in all of that. I'm taking the Cowboys at home.
Okay. Our last game, a classic AFC North battle, the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
This is the AFC North week on the Pick Six. We've picked games involving all 4.
Wow.
AFC North teams.
I did not realize that. I just was looking for good games. So This is a good one. I mean, Cincinnati, they're 9-4. They should win their division. They should make the playoffs. They're one of the best teams in the AFC. Pittsburgh has had a horrible year. They should have won last week. Said and done, they should have won. They didn't give up a drive late in the game, and if a certain guy stays in bounds, I won't say his name because I think he's embarrassed, but if he stays in bounds, Steelers win that game miraculously. But it's just not the Steelers' year. But
another Sciria swerve. The Sciria swerve.
I should pick against them, but I'm going to pick the Steelers.
Wow.
I just think the Steelers have the Bengals' number in Pittsburgh at Heinz Field. And it's a prime time game. I think players, when they're playing in prime time, they want to step it up. And, they want to be embarrassed on national TV. Pittsburgh did come close last week. And, again, division game, the opponents know each other very well. It's in Pittsburgh. I like Pittsburgh.
I'm going to go with Cincinnati.
So 3 games we differ.
This is crucial, folks.
This is where Robert could literally cut the deficit in half
Yeah.
or be completely buried.
Yeah, I would need a miracle after this week if I lose all 3 of those
10
games.
back with really 2 weeks left.
Yeah. So, but that's not the reason I'm picking it.
Right.
I'm picking it because I just think in this game, the Bengals are the better team. Even though even though they're playing in Pittsburgh, I've watched a lot of the Steelers games this year, and they're kind of a shell of their former self. They've got some good talent, on both sides of the ball, but they just haven't been able to put it together for long periods of time. They were in contention there for a little bit, fell back again, especially with a loss last week against Miami. That was a big loss for them. I'm just going to take Cincinnati in this one. It might be close, but the Bengals will come out on top.
All right. That's it, folks. Enjoy the games this weekend, and hopefully we will see you next week.